Well, myself at first, didn't know what to make of it.
Right.
I had the notion that nobody knows who the band really is, the name, and certainly nobody knows or would care about the thought about us two guys. So I was just going, it's all great, but like, is anybody?
But that was the thing. They didn't. The three of them didn't
see his vision.
They didn't understand why anyone would be interested, and I was kind of explaining. Well, but hold on, you guys have not stopped. And they were like, well,
I was totally into the notion of a movie, but I didn't, beyond that, like, basically, I couldn't get the connection. How will this work with the public?
Yeah.
Sasha obviously saw something that I was not seeing at that time.
Yeah.
He was very skeptical. I mean, like, he's being kind. He really was going along with it, but at the time was extraordinarily cynical about the film. I think it was only really until after you'd seen the film, and more importantly, after he'd seen the response to the film, that I think he kind
after Sundance, I was completely. I saw what was coming.
And was it intrusive for you guys having this gentleman and his cameras kind of following you all the time?
Didn't really care. It was actually
it was
a lot of fun, really.
Right.
It was like they weren't there.
Right.
Actually, to be really honest with you, we just carried on as who we were with everything. And they just filmed whatever happened.
I think there's always a period where, when cameras are around, of course you're conscious.
Yeah.
And I think there's always a place in you where you're aware that there are cameras there. But at a certain point,
we became family with everybody,
Yeah.
the whole crew, everybody. We all just bonded like family.
And we still are, which is bizarre. Like, whenever we all get together again, it's like the movie's continuing, right? Even though there are no cameras. But the interesting thing about it is, they were just like, fuck it, what have we got to lose? We're not going to, like, act out for the camera. I mean, they were just themselves so completely. But what was great was that they really were able to trust me because I'd known them for so long.
Right.
That they knew me as a kid, and they knew that I looked up to them.
Right.
And that I idolized them, and that I loved them. And so they knew that one of the principal motivations for me to make the film was I really wanted to see this band that had not, in my opinion, gotten the credit that they deserved, get their due.
Yeah.
And so what was interesting is when I started to speak to all the Larses and the Slashes of the world, it's like all these people were like, oh man, someone finally, and then they all just like, it was amazing because we knew all of that stuff, but now that it's on film forever, it's kind of the validation I think that that they deserve.
I mean, you guys seem, in the movie, you seem pretty down to earth, and did you kind of purposefully try and stay away from that kind of Metallica documentary kind of psychoanalysis and kind of get too deep into the heads and just kind of tell the story of you guys just doing your thing? You didn't want to kind of...
Well,
I don't think we really had any choice in the way of what was being done. It just got done.
Yeah, it's just a little organic. I mean, like I think that just because of the nature of the arena that we're working in, which is heavy metal, and the recording of a record, and there was obviously going to be a parallel with some kind of monster in one sense, but really, the stuff that happened when they were recording, and Chris Tangarides, the producer, when he's talking to these guys when they're freaking out, I mean, that was just what was going on. I think that after the fact, you go, oh wow, that's quite like the therapy in some kind of monster, except like he says, it's the exact opposite. It's like, it's the most successful band in the world, Metallica, metal band in the world. It's like a bunch of multi-millionaires hiring a guy at 40 grand a month, right? 40 grand is what they've made in the past 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's a completely different thing, right? And what's great about
it... Not in my personal life.
No.
I don't think it was 40 grand.
All right, but you know what I'm saying.
I've been saying we are who we are, and the camera showed up and captured some of that, a couple of years of that, and then after they went away, we're still who we are, and a couple months later you go, that happened, right? The cameras just came and grabbed some and left, but we're still the same that we've been all along.
Were there any situations you wanted to keep him out of?
Oh yeah. I can't think now, but there were definitely.
For me, no. But Lips.
What was her name again? No, just kidding.